TIFU by sending a handmade gift to a person that does the same craft as me but 100 times better. I am not the oop. Oop is you, imaginary frog. TIFU by sending a handmade gift to a person that does the same craft as me but 100 times better. Originally posted to our TIFU. Original post December 13, 2023. Long story short, I took part in a Secret Santa event created by a fansite I follow. Basically online strangers who like the same artist exchange Christmas card and/or small gifts. So my first response was to include a copule of accessories and jewelry I made myself that were inspired by the artist we both like, as well as some sweets, scented candles and beauty products. Now here's the thing. Yesterday they got the package. Found me online and I saw they also make jewelry and I was like, "Aw, that's awesome," but then I started scrolling through their profile. Turns out they make one of the most elegant, classy, gorgeous pieces I've seen so far in my work. Well, it doesn't look like trash straight out of a garbage can, but it's definitely much more colorful, casual and well, in comparison it looks like a rainbow fart made by a 10-year-old kid. I'm so ashamed I'm thinking about deleting the profiles where I post my work. There's no way in hell they'll ever do anything with the stuff I sent other than throwing it in the drawer or give it away to some kid in the family. I feel really stupid for not buying something actually nice because what on earth was I thinking? That someone will go, "Wow, that's cute." Quote question mark. I was very full of myself and too confident in my skills, and I learned my lesson the hard way. TL. Dear, I sent very colorful, sparkly jewelry to a person who turned out to make this beautiful, classy jewelry pieces themselves and made myself look like a fool who's mentally 5 years old. Top comments. Emmy is me. I have a friend that makes hella amazing cross-stitch pieces. I can make cross-stitch pieces, but they are utterly boring compared to how clean she can do them, and how interesting she can make them with or without a pattern. She still hung up the first one I ever gave her prominently in her home, because even though she could have made one 10x better, she didn't make this one. And that's why she appreciates it. Just because she could have done it better doesn't mean she thinks it's worthless or less important to her. Entirely out of options. Every real artist I know is just happy to find people who share their passion. They will appreciate your gift in a way others can't, because they know what it takes to hone your craft. Oop updates in the comments. Update December 14th, 2023. First of, thank y'all for your replies. Second of all, holy cow, this thing blew up, tears of joy. I just wanted to add some more info and what my thoughts are after cooling down and reading some of your comments. Some people were saying they must have loved the gift because they went out of there to find me. I forgot to add this info, but it's kind of a thing for this particular event that you should guess who your Secret Santa is and contact them after receiving your package. I know it doesn't make much sense, but it was put in place to make the event more integrating, instead of just gift swapping. There was also a lot of people suggesting I should ask for pointers and advice, and it made me realize some things. I started to wonder what I could ask them to help me with and realized that there isn't that much. And it's mostly because while at the end of the process we both end up making jewelry, we use very different mediums to do it, so I kind of went comparing apples to oranges. They use a lot of more and less intricate wire wrapping and real minerals, and my work is more of a mix and match of different mediums like flowers, resin, glass beads, polymer clay, shrinking plastic, sometimes even embroidery. It's like throwing a stick of dynamite into arts and crafts aisle and hope for the best. Cold sweat smile. Could I learn wire wrapping from them? Absolutely. But I don't think it would really fit into my aesthetic at the moment. Plus I realized I'm low-key learning 423 skills simultaneously while working full-time job and That's why I feel like my progress is so ridiculously slow. The reason why I reacted so strongly to their work is probably the fact I have a lot of people around who like my hobby only as a concept, and I often hear comments like, "You'd be so great at it if you would only make more mature, elegant pieces," or, "You could make good money out of it if it wouldn't look so childish." My immediate family and friends are obviously very supportive, especially my sister, but that's because for her it means lifetime supply of free D&D Dice's Tears of Joy. But every other person I know seems to brush off my work because it doesn't match their vision of what jewelry making should look like, and quite frankly what I saw on that page was fitting it perfectly. I think this whole issue is just their negativity slowly getting to me, even though I really try to ignore comments like this. Once again, thank y'all for your support. I'll try to reply to as many comments as I can. Pink heart. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. I have a lot of people around who like my hobby only as a concept, and I often hear comments like, "You'd be so great at it if you would only make more mature, elegant pieces," or, "You could make good money out of it if it wouldn't look so childish." This is why I didn't talk much about my hobbies in my 20s. Because everyone assumed that the next step was to monetize it. The commenter who talked about cross-stitch is so right. I knit and crochet. I have made blankets and hats and scarves and socks etc. for so many people. And I loved doing it. It was a good way for me to show love. But the first time someone crocheted me a throw blanket, I cried. I had been making things for people for so many years, and knew how much thought and effort goes into making something for someone. It made me feel very special. Now I want to see that sparkly rainbow fart jewelry. Jokes aside, this was a sweet read. Love to read BORU on arts, jewelry, and craft. I feel bad for Oop. She's beating herself up over nothing. I do needle crafts. I like small, intricate pieces, like hem stitching on linen napkins or tatting lace for a neckline. But I love anything needlecraft. I drool over quilts, wall hangings, knitted sweaters, and the like. I would be over the moon if someone gifted me something they made, especially if it was something completely different from what I do. The link jewelry was way less rainbow fart than I was anticipating. I'd wear something that looked like a rainbow farted. I make alpha knot friendship bracelets and stuff like that. And trust me, I would love to receive stuff like that as well, because they're the one that made it. And it's the effort that counts, even if the product is maybe worse or even better than my own stuff. I'm sure the gift receiver wanted something like that if they signed up for basically a hobby gift exchange. I've learned my lesson. I'm ending on the sweet one instead of continuing to read. And this time, I might actually keep to it. There are a couple of crafts that I'm very good at. I have had a few people who haven't been in the hobby as long make me gifts, and I've always been chuffed with them, even if they're not technically as good as something I could make myself. This makes me think of that Tumblr post about the art class where the teacher encouraged his student to make him hate her art, fill it up with sparkles and pink and whatever, and really make him hate it. The student learned to make art that didn't apologize for not conforming and was much happier for it. I just looked at Oop's stuff and it's super cute. I buy stuff like that all the time. That's the thing about style. Different people like different things. Also, it was plenty elegant in my opinion. I sent some of my writing to a friend of mine who is an actual serious writer. She told me my writing was beautiful and heartfelt and to keep at it loudly crying. Another example. My gaming group has a rotating cast of dungeon masters who run games for everyone depending on what The group wants. My DM has a multi-page passion project that he's working on getting published professionally. Just from a glance, there's a lot of work he puts into his game books. I tend to run lighter-toned rules like games where if there's something cool you want to do, you can absolutely do it if you can set it up. Kind of a shonen anime feel. Completely different, and yet, we both have fun in each other's worlds and constantly provide feedback. People who do a thing and are proud of the thing they do recognize when someone is also doing a thing. Everyone starts somewhere. Artists who supports artists are great. It's like throwing a stick of dynamite into arts and crafts aisles and hoping for the best tears of joy. Plus I realized I'm low-key learning 423 skills simultaneously while working full-time job, and that's why I feel like my progress is so ridiculously slow. It's like Oop knows me. No, I mean, like, she really knows me. We might be the same person. Couple of things. 1. The dynamite comment is basically my life's motto that I've never quite been able to put into words. My whole life can be summed up by that comment. My Christmas tree aesthetic. Put all the things on the tree. My cooking, it needs more of something. What is it missing? Put in all the seasonings. And don't forget the better than bouillon. My cross-stitch projects? Use all the colors. 2. The second comment, I couldn't help but notice Oop might also have ADHD. Welcome to the dark side. We have cookies. Well, we tried to make cookies. But we got distracted by the clutter on the stairs. So we took it upstairs but noticed the toilet needed to be cleaned, so we set down the clutter and cleaned the toilet. We left the clutter from the stairs on the bathroom floor and went back down to finish the cookies. But we noticed the living room was a mess. So we spent the next 3 hours hyper-cleaning the living room and got tired. So we went to bed. But the next morning we realized we left the cookie dough on the counter and it's no longer good. So we threw it away. So, I'm sorry. We don't actually have cookies. But we tried. 3. The low-key learning 423 skills simultaneously comment that is my relationship to crafts. I cross-stitch. Not great pieces of art. Just casual projects I work on randomly for the fun of it. I get so invested and want to learn all the things. So I dive right in. But there's so much to know. And I don't know where to start. So I just start trying to learn all of it at once. Instead of mastering one skill, I try to at least know how to do a basic version of all of it, with the intent to get good at it, until I start looking up cool needle minders. Which leads me to pincushions. Which leads me to beautiful sewn felt pincushions. Which leads me to sewing felt. And now I'm balls deep in learning which felt to use for what project and what needles I need to use. And trying to learn whole new set of skills begins. 4. I checked out OOP's jewelry. I have similar things I've made when I was a kid. I love them and cherish them. I remember how proud I was when I figured out how to make beaded flowers like she did. I would call her style nostalgic chic, and I dig it. Not the same, but I get it. I only make one of each thing I create and it annoys people. You should make 20 inches. Well, I can't. I made one. It is here. Next. And never ever take commissions, by gods. People have zero idea how much work can go into things. And never want to pay for labor and material, let alone profit. And often say, I could get it at Walmart for $5. Well, no, you can't actually. Walmart doesn't sell this. And if you want to pay $5 for something that is mass-produced, that is cool. Have it. Just don't try to say what I make is comparable. Apples and oranges. For sure. This is very wholesome. I'm a crafter. My wife and I sell art and trinkets at comic cons and nerdy events. And I feel this post a few years ago. We did a similar Secret Santa among our local artist community, and our gift was to another pair of artists we looked up to a lot as artists, vendors, so we were nervous about the whole thing, even though we were friends with them at the time. In the end we made them Muppet ornaments and they put them in their tree every year and shout us out on social media when they do. This duo also opened a brick-and-mortar art collective shop in our city and included us. So it worked out great for us, haha. Love the update. Different does not mean one is better than the other. If they had wanted the same thing they made, they wouldn't have bothered taking part in the first place. Say you're ADHD without saying you're ADHD. A personally made gift has nothing to do with quality, and everything to do with the time and effort to make it. They will appreciate your gift in a way others can't, because they know what it takes. I'm not crying. You're crying.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.